Hello, this is Rorschach, and this is kind of like the first episode in the Pox Nora podcast, or the Pox podcast. What kind of is the Pox podcast? Well, it's going to be kind of segmented into different things that I'm going to be trying to do for Gnomes' YouTube channel. Basically, I'm going to try to do deck techs, talking about how I create a deck, the proper ways to create a deck for new players, kind of the general sense of what themes should be doing and what they shouldn't be doing, stuff like that. I get asked a lot on the server, can you share this deck, blah, 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 stuff like that. And it's because since I came back in 2019 from taking a small hiatus, I've tried to play at least 20 games of every possible theme we have currently available. I've missed some, but I've played a lot. And the ones I have missed, I'm planning on bringing guests over to kind of help explain it better than what I could. And that way people feel more comfortable, picking up a new theme. Moving on from that, we'll get to that later though. Another thing I would like to do is kind of do, we do patches here, right? And on the day of a patch, I would like to make a video kind of telling what went into the patch, why these things were changed, the idea behind the changes, kind of the intention, and going forward. We'll get to that also later. Let's get down. If you're new or you haven't been playing the game a lot and you're trying to come back or you have no idea what's going on, let's just talk about what has been going on with the current day of Pox. So, what is happening to Pox Nora in 2021 going into 2022? Well, not a lot, and that's kind of sad to say, but it's just a matter of the fact. In early or mid 2017, the last legendary midterm was released, and then after that, shortly after, the owners of the game, Desert Owl Games, kind of shut down development of the game. That means since 2017, there has been no active dev team or development of the game. We haven't had an actual coded patch since then. We have had patches though. We'll get to that later. So currently the game's not in limbo. It's not shut down. It is still running. There's an active game still running. We have a server in the Discord that has a fantastic player base that keeps it going. And we have contact with a previous moderator of the game. The game, though, does have an owner. The owner is originally two former Octopi members who have taken it, and they are currently making a new game. It's called Pox Nora Conquest. You can check out more of it at their Instagram, which I believe is Octopi4. It will not be anything like what Pox Nora is, which some people are very sad to hear. Some people aren't. Your opinion is your opinion. But that's what they're doing. They're taking the assets of Pox Nora, the story behind it, and making this new game, which seems to be like a mixture of a MOBA and tower defense. Not much has been released besides some screen captures and a small 30-second video. If you want to check it out, head out to their Instagram. I'll try to remember to link it down below in the info section. Same with the Discord. I'll link the Discord too in case you haven't joined it or if you want to join it, just to see what's going on. Moving on to the Discord. The Discord is ran currently by staff of moderators. We have Etherlin, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, Markoth, and Dagapede. There's another one, I'm not for certain, I don't want to say anything. Also in the Discord is Cortic, or Cortices, who was the former member of Desert Owl Games. He's actually the guy that's helping us a lot now with player Rant patches, which we'll get into later on. Discord's full of a lot of good people, a lot of familiar names if you've been playing for a while, or a lot of friendly people that if you want to play the game now, you can. And just jump in and join, and we'll help you out as best as we can. This is what kind of like the idea behind it is for people that are new or returning. This will be sort of a platform video to kind of show you a way and show you around these parts. Moving back in, let me look at my notes real quick to see where we're at. All right. Kind of talked about the current state of the game and development. Well, one thing I didn't touch up on is it's not being currently developed by anybody, but we are lucky enough that early last year we were given access to start making very restricted but still able to make changes to the game, be it changes like to champions, giving them new abilities or removing abilities that we think might be a little overpowered. So we can effectively buff and nerf certain sets of these cards. Some things we cannot touch, like equipment and spells. We can only change the cost ratio of that because they've been coded in. And the reason behind this is we have access to the current server to an extent through the website, but we don't have access to the build server or the test server. And we're hopefully going to get access to that soon. I've been saying that soon for almost a year now, so don't hold your breath, but hopefully it will come one day. What that means is once we get access to that, we'll be able to start actually coding again, fixing some of the bugs that are kind of still hiding around, and able to make new abilities and stuff like that. And funny enough, before Desert Isle Games, or DOG for short, went under, they actually had an entire expansion plane, new legendaries, new cards, all that stuff, and it's been fully done. The sprites are done, all the stuff is done. It's just sitting on the build server and it hasn't been fully tested through. So if we get access to the build server, there actually might be a chance to get that expansion released to us, so we'd have some new cards floating around for us to play with, which is super exciting. Let's circle back down to those player patches we've been talking about. What's been going on? So the game for about 3 years didn't have any changes whatsoever. It was exactly the same. There was nothing going on. So it left a lot of room for players to kind of mess around with stuff. We were very lucky that a lot of things were in a good spot to play with, and a lot of things just kind of became that way until through luck, basically, we were able to start making small little changes here and there. We've had, I want to say, around 10 or 12, don't quote me on that, player patches where we've effectively nerfed some things and we've effectively buffed some things. I've been a big person behind that. Don't blame me for everything though. It's not all my fault, I swear. But I've been trying to lead currently a sort of direction for what these patches are supposed to go to. I have no say. I'm not a part of a development team or moderation team at all. I just do the most testing. I try to find new bugs that are occurring, or if we hit or miss the mark we were going for with a certain change. And I do a lot of testing with previous stuff before the change is even made to see if it really does need that. At first, we were able to effectively kind of scale back some of the things that were silly in the game. And now we're trying to do a thing where I'm focusing on buffing the themes of every faction. Some things have been complete misses, like for instance, an idea that wasn't mine but I agreed upon was changing a lot of the basic attack types in the game from just regular physical and magical, so that way we'd have more attributes spread around, so that way things like Eater, Immunity, Resist wouldn't be as powerful as they were. Example would be Void Shield, which is an ability that if any unit takes more than 4 damage, they gain resistance rank 1 of that damage type, and then it can scalp to resistance rank 3. It was a little, like I said, it was a miss. A lot of things were changed and they didn't need to be changed, and I didn't think it was going to be on this mass. So now you have units that should be like attack physical or something, and they have like attack frost, and it doesn't really make sense. But hey, we're here now. We might loop around and fix that later. I have no idea. I'm just like you guys, in complete darkness. Taking a small sip of water right there for you people who are wondering why the pause was happening. Moving forward, right? So these patches are ran by the players, for the players, in a sense. Some people have mixed opinions on them. Some people are against them. Some people really enjoy them. My goal is to make sure that everyone is enjoying it and that everyone has a fair chance to be heard, even though sometimes people will say I'm sort of against that notion. I'm not at all. Some people don't have a good sense of game direction or a sense of the game's power level right now, so they might make a silly change. That's okay. Make a silly change if you want, you know, suggest it, and it might come to fruition and evolve into something that's completely great for the theme or the game itself, right? So please, if you take anything away from this, just know that I'm not against anyone making any suggestions. No one is. Some people might joke around with you. Please don't take offense. We got some jokesters in the Discord. We also got some really nice people who are caring and will listen fully and engage you in conversation. Circling back, I'll do a whole catch-up video on all the patches and stuff like that and what we've kind of hit our mark on and what we've missed, stuff like that. Some quick instances of what we've been doing recently is the last patch. We changed 2 bog hoppers. We also changed some barbarians and Iron Fist that really helped boost that theme and made it playable. Same with the bogs. We did some really cool things with constructs in both SL and a little bit of IS to make them more flavorful. And we did some Kanan changes and some Leos or Leos. People in this pronunciation with the game is crazy. I've heard everything, and I've said everything myself. But that's kind of the direction, is we try to choose a theme and kind of stick with that theme and let everyone kind of comment. And then we'll lock in 2 cards that we think are the most needed or helped. And we'll work with those cards to make them something better. So, we used to do patches every month, and now we're going to every 2 months. So the next patch is January 1st. If you have any pressing ideas, please come in and get them out now. We're going to be hopefully locking in the patch, well, the champions that we're trying to patch or rework in a couple days or maybe a week out. That way we have a good month and a half to really make them solid. That's not the word I'm looking for, but that's the word I'm sticking with, guys. Please give me a break. Let's see what we're going to move on. We'll do patch notes on a different video. I just want to give you guys a quick update. I kind of went into a ramble, and I am sorry about that. But if you're interested in that, please let me know down in the comments or let me know on the Discord or something. And I'll be doing a whole patch notes catch up before the next patch comes out, which is scheduled for, like I said before, January 1st. So if you're interested in the new Pox Nora game, like I said, please check out their Instagram. I'll hopefully link it down below. If not, it's like OctoPiv4, something like that. They have an art book out that you can try to order with the original game, and they do updates. They haven't done an update in a while, but apparently the lead dev for the new studio had to get spinal surgery, and he's been out for a while. But, you know, good luck to them. Hopefully they're making something awesome, and I'm not hopingly, that's not a real word, but I'm hoping that new game is something really fun to play and that we can also enjoy, even though it's not classic Pox and it's not going to be, you know, a wizard chess strategy game. I talked about the Discord. In the Discord, there's a bunch of different sections you can go to: deck building for help, campaign, lore, general chat just to catch up with some old pals or to goof off, stuff like that. We have patch notes section, which is what I was talking about earlier. And there's all sorts of helpful people. The moderators, I'm going to say just again, are Etherlin, Markov, and Dagapede currently. Sokolov's in the Discord. Don't bother him. He's a busy man, but he is in the Discord and he chimes in once in a while. In other games, he's very fond of the TFT and League of Legends. Moving forward, we talked a little bit about the player ran patch notes, which is awesome. But let's talk about the future. What does the future hold? Well, the future for Pox 1 is not dark, right? It's not looking bleak. We have a great game. We still have core players. We get usually around 8 to 10 games going on in peak hours of the day, so it's easy to find a game. The Discord's usually popping, is what the kids are saying nowadays. So there are people playing this game still if you want to come back and play. And if you feel like you're not good enough to play those players, please let me or there's other people in the Discord too that will help you. And I'm going to be making some videos on how to learn basic gameplay and combos and stuff like that. That way you guys have a little bit more of an edge, but it comes down to basically skill. I've been playing this game since 2009, maybe 8. I've known people for over a decade now, which is crazy to say. And I'm not that good of a player. Some people might argue that, but I think I'm very moderate. I'm a very moderate player. Baseline skill level. And there are people just way above me, but I still comfortable enough to get into a game and still play at a certain level where I feel like I might be able to win the game half the time. And I want everyone to feel that way, because no one wants to get into a game and it be over in 5 minutes because the other player's just not skillful or they don't know what's going on, right? And I want to try to change that so that way people start getting better and learning the skill it takes to become better themselves. Because self-improvement is one of the most rewarding things in this game. Fighting someone that you think is way out of your league and then beating them and being like, holy crap, I just beat that guy. That's awesome. And it wasn't a fluke. Like, I beat him and it was all because I had that skill and also knowledge. Moving on to the future. I've already said that, but let's say it again, right? The future. What's the future like? Well, the future of this game is, hopefully, I talked earlier about the build server, and we're hoping that we get to access that. If we do, we have some players that are good in coding, and we're hoping to get that last expansion rolled out for everybody. That will generate some revenue for the game to keep the server going, which is not an issue. Don't worry about that. The server's good. It's stable. It's in a safe place. But it will generate more revenue, which will hopefully, bring more attention to say, maybe we should work on this game again. And also, it'll give us more cards to play with. That's awesome. The cards looked super solid from what I saw. And it would just be awesome to have fresh material. I mean, we're going into almost 5 years without any fresh material for this game, which is kind of crazy. It would also let us change spells, equipment, and not just their cost of Nora. Put in new abilities, which would be super awesome. We've already been spitballing around as a person who does a lot of dev work for the game. I've already been planning where I would like all the Bach, the demon lady, the Bach, if you're not aware of them, they're in the Underdepths. I would like them to get their flight ability replaced with a new thing, like most units did. Like the Voil got Sonic Flight, and most of the Savage Tundra flying units got Arctic Flight. I would like to give them something called Obsidian Wings, which would give them flying for free, and then another ability like another ability on their base, which would be like Flight and Bleed, or Flight and Drive, or Flight and Absorb. Something cool that would boost them up just by giving them that new ability. Sounds a little broken, but, like I said, rough draft work, guys. But hopefully we get that build server up. We can start testing, fixing some of the bugs. There are some bugs we cannot fix, so those things have been temporarily banned from the ranked play. One to note is Shimmering Flower. It gave permanent distract. Another one was the spell Split Personality, where you would cast it, and then if the enemy attacked with that unit, it would drain your Nora bank another 40 Nora for each attack that enemy unit made. So it'd basically drain all of your income out of your own bank. And it just seemed a little unfair, so we had to temporarily ban it. Emphasis on the temporary factor, guys. Some people think this is like forever. And some people are like, why are you changing this when we could just wait and change it when the build server is up? I want to kind of roll back. I've been saying when the build server gets access for almost a year now. So like I said, hopefully we get access soon. Don't hold your breath, but hopefully we do. I will never not say when we get access, because I believe it will happen eventually. Just like when I came back to this game in the end of 2019 and didn't realize it was still going. And the reason I came back was I had a dream of these lovely, lovely people called Tortons. And I was like, man, I haven't played Pox in like 4 years. I should go back and see what's going on. Found there was a Discord, got into the game, and now I'm playing it every day again. And it's just, that's kind of the magic of Pox, right? It's the people we meet, the game itself is some sort of enchantment, and we keep on playing it for some reason. All right, ramble over. Let's keep moving forward. What do I mean by deck techs? Well, this is a good example. What is a deck tech? A lot of other card games or games like this use it, where basically they show off a deck that they have performed well with, or it has done well, and they kind of show the basic idea of what the deck is, how to build it, how to run it. And if I get the chance, well, I'll be doing something the same. So I would show you guys either a bare bones, no cards in the deck, and we'd build it on the recording together, or I'd show you one that's already pre-built and what you kind of want to do. And I'll do a quick example, right? So this is a Torton deck. This is KFFS, Cathar Forest, Folklore Swamp. And the basic idea is this is an all Torton deck, and it works with their synergy, right? So you'd put in this guy, that guy, and we kind of delve into why I run certain cards in this deck and the synergy behind those cards. And then after I explain everything in the deck tech, I would then show a game that I'd play of Pox to kind of show you guys how it works. It won't always be wins. It'll be win or losses, stuff like that. But I think that would kind of help the community out a lot if they're like, if someone said, well, I've never played a you know, how do you play Stitched? I'd be like, oh, I've played, 50 games of Stitched. Let me show you. And I'd have this video to link to them, and I'd show them how to build Stitched. Please don't build it identical. My favorite thing in this game is being unique and also being yourself. So you can use it as like a basis to then work off of and make your own thing. Because how do I make decks? I just put stuff that looks cool and then I test it. And I'm going to probably lose a lot before I start winning, because after I lose, I'll be like, okay, what worked well and what didn't work at all? This guy didn't work. Let's take them both out. Let's put something new in, right? We'll get more into that once the first ever deck tech comes out, and hopefully I'll have something special to show you guys. I'm still trying to figure out what theme I want to base it on. But if that sounds interesting, stay tuned. If it doesn't, let me know, and I just won't do them. Patch day notes. What do I mean by patch day notes? All right, so on the day of the patch, there will be a finalized locked in notes that come out. I'll take those and I'll basically tell you why it went like why did things change, what good did they do, what bad did they do, stuff like that, and what was the reasoning behind the change, who suggested the change, stuff like that. How did this go from this and that, and we'll kind of do like a fact check on that type of stuff, and hopefully it is something you guys want to hear. Some people have told me that they really like that. Like I said, tell me if you want to hear it. Tell me if you don't want to hear it. Tell me what I do bad. Tell me what I do good, and we'll see what happens. I have never done any of this game recording stuff. I'm not a big YouTube guy, but I told Gnomes that I would try this out and try to help, and I think it would help the community out a lot. And that's the kind of the real reason I'm doing this, is for the community. I do a lot for the community, and I try my best. I know I can be a grumpy guy sometimes. Please don't take it personal. It's not you. It's probably just real life stuff kind of pending in. Work super stressful, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm here for you guys if you need anything. My name's Rorschach yet again. And please hit me up on the Discord, anything like that. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the game. Y'all have a wonderful night. Take care. Peace.